Imagine a bustling, gaslit Victorian London, but beneath its cobbled streets, an unseen war rages. Ancient magic versus these sinister clockwork automatons.
Mhm.
Now, picture a young woman just arrived, thrown into this hidden world. She has to uncover this power inside herself, but also figure out, what family means, where she belongs.
Sounds like a classic adventure setup.
Right. But what if I told you that same story could also, brilliantly dissect deep societal issues, real human experiences, and keep you completely hooked?
That's the fascinating part.
Exactly. So today we're doing an analysis of Cassandra Clare's Clockwork Angel. And this is not just another fantasy book. It's a really sophisticated narrative. Uses incredibly clever storytelling to both grab you and challenge you in ways you might not expect.
Right. Our goal here is really to unpack how Cassandra Clare does this. We're looking at her immersive techniques, her really nuanced characters, and that layered intertextuality, how she weaves in references to other books. Basically, how she uses rhetorical strategies. It's not just entertainment. She skillfully challenges you, the reader. It's this fantasy adventure, sure, but it digs into identity, agency, and, the ties that bind us.
And for this analysis, you're experiencing something a bit different, a unique two-host AI conversation powered by Google's NotebookLM. It's designed for, deeper, more dynamic book analysis.
Shall we dive in?
Let's get into the gears of it.
Okay, so first up, Cassandra Clare herself, the architect, you could say. She's a well-known contemporary author, right?
Yeah.
Built these big urban fantasy worlds.
Yeah, huge following.
What's really key for her credibility, her ethos, is her background. She came out of fan communities, has this deep, deep knowledge of literature, what we call intertextual knowledge.
Oh, okay.
So her world building feels consistent, grounded. She engages with Victorian lit directly. That gives her work this believable foundation, even with all the magic.
So she's built that trust with the reader before they even open the book, almost. And the setting, 1878 London, but published in 2010. Why then? Why there?
It's a brilliant choice, actually. This book kicked off the Infernal Devices as a prequel to the Mortal Instruments.
Right, leveraging that existing fan base.
Exactly. And it tapped into this resurgence of Victorian themes in YA fiction around that time. 1878 gives you that perfect mix, gas lamp, gothic, steampunk creeping in, supernatural mystery.
A lot to work with.
A ton.
Mm-hmm.
It let her explore themes that, resonate across time. Past anxieties, present ones. It found a really unique spot.
And who's it really aimed at? You mentioned YA fantasy readers, obviously, but it seems to pull in others, too.
Definitely hits the YA mark with the action and romance, but the way it explores identity, love, agency, those themes are pretty complex. Plus the literary allusions, the more mature subplots that really broadens the appeal. You get adults drawn to the sophisticated world building, the kind of philosophical questions it raises. It's definitely more than just standard YA fare.
Okay, so beyond the thrilling plot, what's Claire's core purpose here? What's she trying to get us, the readers, to think about?
Well, it's layered. Obviously, she wants to entertain, build suspense, that's clear. But critically, she's using the fantasy framework to really dig into identity, agency, belonging.
Especially through certain lenses.
Yes, particularly gender, power, personal transformation.
Yeah.
She makes you question what family really means, what loyalty is, what makes someone good. Especially when society pushes back. It's like an interrogation of values wrapped up in this adventure.
In the story, it centers on Tessa Gray, right?
Yeah.
Plunged into this supernatural underworld in London.
Yep. Discovering her shape-shifting ability, digging into her past, facing down societal rules and magical threats. Mortmain's Clockwork Army. Pretty chilling stuff.
Yeah.
And the tone she creates is so important. It's really atmospheric, evocative. You get the suspense, the gothic mystery, but also real humor. Moments of poignant romance.
It shifts around a lot.
Fluidly, yeah. It could be dark, menacing in one scene, then hopeful, introspective when Tessa's figuring things out. Those moments of connection or even just questioning existence, they break the tension really effectively. Keeps it dynamic.
Okay, let's unpack how she pulls us in so effectively. Those rhetorical appeals, we touched on ethos, her credibility as an author. How does she build that trust within the book itself?
Good question. So beyond her background, inside the book, she immerses you in Victorian details, literary references. It makes the alternate history feel, lived in.
Right.
Tessa herself is bookish. She knows literature. That lets Clare weave in more of that intertextuality naturally.
Okay, so it feels authentic to the character.
Exactly. You feel like Clare, like Tessa, really gets this world. And Honestly, just the professionalism of the writing, the consistent viewpoint, clear structure, the sheer depth of the world building, it all signals you're in capable hands, builds trust.
And then the emotional hook, the pathos. This
Yeah.
book really gets you. How does she do that?
Oh, definitely. The pathos is very character-driven. Tessa's initial isolation, her search for identity, which is often quite desperate.
Yeah, you feel for her.
Totally. And then that found family dynamic with the Shadowhunters. It creates this really strong emotional anchor.
And the conflicts, the love triangle.
Right? The danger, the betrayals, and yes, the Tessa Will Gem triangle. It's not just plot filler. It's designed to deepen your emotional investment. It balances the romance, the trauma, the suspense. And her imagery is key, too. Those foggy London streets, the creepy automatons, the sensory details. She doesn't just describe the world, she makes you feel it. It pulls you right in.
So we trust her, we feel for the characters, but does it all hold together logically? Within its own rules? How does the logos, the logic work?
It holds together remarkably well. Tessa's investigations, finding her brother, figuring out her origins, Mortmain's plans, they unfold methodically.
No weird leaps.
Not really. The action is backed up by this strong internal consistency. Clues get dropped, prophecies are mentioned, things are foreshadowed, and they pay off logically later.
Even the fantastical stuff.
Yeah, even things like shape-shifting, the steampunk mechanics, the Shadowhunter lore, it's explained through dialogue or exposition pretty naturally. It doesn't stop the plot dead. It reinforces the world's realism, its own kind of logic. It makes sense within the context she creates.
This is where it gets really fascinating for me, the actual craft, the storytelling nuts and bolts. Let's talk language. Her diction, word choice, and syntax, sentence structure. How does she make 1878 London feel real but still readable for us now?
It's a real balancing act she pulls off. She shifts between this lush, descriptive prose, very evocative of the period, Gothic, historical, and then bang, you get snappy, modern-feeling dialogue.
Keeps it moving.
Exactly. It captures the Victorian formality but keeps the characters feeling immediate, relatable. Her word choices are often loaded, hinting at hidden meanings.
Yeah, the sentence structure
Varies beautifully.
Yeah.
Long, detailed sentences for introspection or description. Short, sharp ones for action or tense moments. It really helps control the pacing, emphasizing danger or intimacy. Keeps you engaged.
She's also brilliant with figurative language, symbolism. Any standout examples?
Oh, loads. Metaphors, similes, they really enrich everything. Like that famous line comparing Will Herondale to fire and Jem Carstairs to silver light.
Right, I remember that.
It's not just pretty words, it nails their contrast.
Yeah.
The whole theme of dualism in the book. And the symbols are powerful. Tessa's Clockwork angel pendant.
Yeah.
It's hope, it's legacy, it's the mystery of who she is. And her shape-shifting, it's more than magic. It's a running metaphor for, like, identity being fluid, for her personal growth as she tries to define herself.
What about the overall structure? Is it just A to B, or is there more going on?
It's mostly chronological, yeah, but it's not just a straight line. She alternates really well between high-tension action scenes and these quieter, more reflective moments. Keeps the pace interesting.
Anything else structurally?
Definitely. You see smart use of repetition, like Tessa constantly grappling with control and agency. That reinforces her whole arc. And there's great parallelism, too, mirroring the struggles of Will and Jem, showing their own dualities, light, dark, control, passion, and their shared issues. Adds a lot of depth to them.
I noticed so many contrasts, too. Stark juxtapositions. How does she use those?
Masterfully. She contrasts the oppressive Victorian norms, especially for women, with the Shadowhunter world, which is interesting because the Shadowhunters kind of subvert some norms but reinforce others.
Okay.
And you constantly see Tessa's inner turmoil set against the external dangers. Technology, those creepy automatons versus magic, tradition versus change. It creates all this thematic tension.
And she even throws in some more advanced stuff like literary illusions.
Absolutely. References to Dickens, Wilde, Tennyson, they're not just there to show off. They genuinely deepen the themes of duality, morality, sacrifice. Gives it that intellectual weight.
Makes sense.
Plus, you get occasional rhetorical questions, bits of irony, especially with Will's humor, creating layers of meaning, nudging you to look deeper.
Speaking of reflection and digging deeper, we want to invite you to check out Mindful Moments. That's our YouTube channel. It offers AI book analysis just like this, designed to inspire that kind of reflection and rational thought on all sorts of books.
Definitely worth exploring.
So, moving towards the impact. Did Clockwork Angel achieve what Clare set out to do? Did she hit those deeper points we've been talking about?
I'd say yes, without a doubt. Her storytelling absolutely entertains, but it really does encourage you to think about agency, family transformation.
You feel drawn in?
Completely. She pulls the audience into this incredibly rich world that consistently probes those big questions: identity, power, belonging. It feels meaningful.
And does it resonate across the board with the YA crowd and older readers?
I think so. That mix of wit, danger, and real heart connects strongly with YA readers. But like we said, the mature themes, the literary nods, they offer real depth for older readers too.
So bridges that gap.
It really does. Her rhetorical choices, even making Tessa so literary herself, meet those expectations for thoughtful, genre-bending fantasy. That ensures its broad appeal, why it lasts.
And it all feels so tight, so internally consistent. You don't often find yourself thinking, wait, that doesn't make sense.
That's a huge strength.
Yeah.
Testament to her world building, right? Plot points are seeded carefully, they pay off logically. Very few plot holes or forced moments. The clues, the prophecies, the foreshadowing, it all builds believability, keeps you engaged, keeps you trusting the story.
The book also touches on some significant ethical points, right? Especially around gender in that era.
It does. It depicts the limitations placed on women in Victorian society, and there's this subtle but clear critique of patriarchy running through it. It prompts you to reflect, not just accept.
Tessa's journey.
Tessa's journey of finding her own agency, pushing those boundaries. It serves as a model, really, of empowerment. It challenges you to think about those structures in your own world, maybe.
And the characters feel so real because their struggles are grounded. It's not just happening to them.
Exactly. Jem's illness, Will's big secret, Tessa's family trauma, Claire, give them rich, believable backstories. It makes their choices, their conflicts feel earned, deeply nuanced. You understand why they do what they do. So if we're synthesizing this, Clockwork Angel really shows Cassandra Clare masterfully using rhetorical strategies, the immersive story, the nuanced characters, the intertextuality.
It all works together.
Right. It doesn't just captivate you, it challenges you, makes you think about identity, agency, connection. And that's why it reaches beyond just YA. It's resonant literature.
Yeah. It really uses that craft to stick with you, connect across genres, across time, proves how powerful a well-told story can be, how it can explore these universal human questions. It leaves you wondering, doesn't it? In our world, so obsessed with authenticity, how much of who we are is innate? And how much is shaped by, well, the mechanics and magic around a society? Relationships, just like Tessa.
A really provocative thought to end on.
Remember to check out Mindful Moments on YouTube for more AI book analysis designed to spark reflection. And explore all of our podcasts for more discussions like this one. Click the link on screen for the in-depth book summary. Subscribe, share, maybe purchase via the link if you're interested, and most importantly, keep thinking critically.